The calendar is finally turned over to March. We're just a few days away from daylight savings time beginning and getting those extra hours of daylight at the end of the day. And the humdrums of winter are hopefully finally behind us. And to be honest, I'm excited. We're not that far away from my favorite time of the year, planting. When we get to start everything anew for another season and we get to begin to put this crop in the ground and see what it's going to manifest into for successes for our 2017 season. But before we go out to the field in April, while we've still got the days of March ahead of us, I want to make sure that our planters are ready to go by addressing some simple maintenance things that need to be looked at. I'm Keith Byerly, Precision Ag Manager at Central Valley Ag, and this is your Precision Focus that corresponds with the article on the CVA blog site. So, when I talk about planter maintenance, I know that some of you are going to tune out right away. You've spent the money, you've got somebody trusted like your implement dealer or somebody else that you take that planter to year in and year out for maintenance. And they take care of important things like chains and bearings and double disc openers. They make sure that those things are ready to go. But there's some smaller details that I want to make sure that you consider before we get to the field. The first one is your seed meters. And I guess I'm going to be a little bit more specific than that and say your meter plates. When we look at those, it's time to start getting on your seed salesman and finding out just what exactly you've got coming for size and shape of seed. We need to make sure that if your planter has some intolerances to different sizes and different shapes of seed, that what you've got coming matches up with the plates you've got on hand. If it doesn't, it may be time to go get plates now before you're in the field and wanting to plant, or it may be time to convert those meters over to something different that can plant every size of seed. But either way, I know that once you hit the field, you're going to want to plant, and you may go ahead and plant with something that doesn't provide the spacing or the singulation that we need to achieve maximum yield, and that's a shame. And while we're on the subject of those seed discs, I want you to do one other thing. If you've stored those things in the meter at all, I want you to go ahead, pull those out, put a level on them, and check the surface of that plate to make sure it's not warped. Again, that plate being warped even a 16th or a 32nd of an inch can have a very dramatic effect on seed spacing when we get out to the field. Then there's the other side of the planter, and that's when we get it out to the field. I want you to go ahead, hook onto the planter, take it outside, put it in the ground, and pull it forward 40 or 50 feet. And stop. Don't have your hydraulics on, don't have the downforce active, just pull it through the field and get out and look. I want you to grab that camera that you've got on your phone and take pictures every other row going across that planter on what your parallel arms look like. I want to make sure that they're even with the ground. If you've got uneven parallel arms, it means that your row unit's not sitting in the ground the way it was designed to, which is either going to manifest itself as one of two problems for you out in the field. You're either going to have residue that you're not properly moving and pinning into the row and causing poor seed emergence, or you're going to have an inability to achieve the downforce that you want. Even if you've got the best hydraulic downforce system in the world, you're not going to be able to maximize that thing if that row unit's not setting level. So spend some time. Work with your 3-point to figure out where that spot is on that machine and if you can get them level. If you can't, you may need to take the carrying tires, the lift tires, and move them up or down a hole to achieve levelness. But once you've got that, if you think you're going to have a problem, make a very simple little stick that mounts on your top parallel arm so you can see from the seat of the cab while you're in the field if that thing's riding true or not, because that's going to have a huge impact on your bottom line this season. So at the end of the day, these are just a couple of the simple things that we want to take care of from the maintenance side before we head out to the field this spring to plant. Because I can tell you now, an ounce of prevention is going to be worth a pound of cure. Your take home for the day is eliminate all the little things before we get to the field, because once it comes time to go, we'll decide and we'll justify in our mind that we're okay with those little inefficiencies, those little yield robbers, and at the end of the season, we'll wonder where those last few bushels that could have really helped our bottom line for 2017 went.